Good afternoon, everybody. It is 3:13 p.m. Mountain Time on Wednesday, September 8th. Been out of town for a while, so I left Thursday, got back last night, and here I am trying to pick right up, catch up, and get everybody up to speed, including myself, even though I've been watching the whole time. Big dump in Bitcoin about 30 something hours ago, and we're going to talk about what happened there. Why did it dump? And I don't think it's the reason that most people feel is the reason that it dumped. Anyways, we're going to talk about why I'm a buyer here and what level I'm a buyer down to. But I am a buyer here, and we're going to talk about a few altcoins that I think should be on everybody's radar. Altcoins. Everybody loves the altcoins, and with good reason. They show the highest gains, but they're also riskier. They show the highest losses as well. So if you're into that, go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Please do those two things. I appreciate it greatly. Also remember that nothing in this video is considered financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Everything in this video is for informational and educational purposes only. I am just a trader, but I have my opinions and I want to share them. So let's get into it. So here we go. We're going to get right into the news because that's what today is mostly about, because news trumps charts, right? So when news comes out, charts don't matter. You got to reevaluate, pick up where it leaves off, where the price action leaves off. So first of all, big news, kind of revolutionary possibly. El Salvador's Bitcoin experiment is a warning to other countries. And I chose this article particularly just to show how, manipulative isn't the word, but how influential news headlines and news can be just based on how headlines are worded and how the article is worded. So the impoverished countries' vaunted adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender on Tuesday was marred by street protests, technical glitches, and an extreme drop in the value of the controversial digital currency. It's not enough to cause a Bitcoin drop. What happened was that this was supposed to be a big day. It was a big day, and the sell-off was in coordination with this news event and everybody's excitement and bullishness and probably a little bit greediness. So another thing that happened that day, same day I believe, is the Thai SEC intends to revoke operating license of Huobi crypto exchange. This probably had a little more to do with the drop in price than anything to do with El Salvador's Bitcoin experiment. I mean, Michael Saylor owns about 25 times more Bitcoin than the whole country of El Salvador owns. So very, very large amount, 500 Bitcoin I think now, or 450, something around that area, but still insignificant compared to the major holders of the world. So back to Huobi, this is very, very important to be on the exchanges you're supposed to be on. Used to be you can access Binance using a VPN. Can't do that anymore because they require a KYC, or know your customer, to prove that you're yourself, because they don't want to get in trouble with regulators, which is extremely smart of them. So what happened was some people who had their money in there, they can't get it out because they can't prove that it's theirs. I don't know where they're at with that. I'm sure they'll be able to get it out somehow. Anyways, just to touch on this, Thailand's Securities and Exchange Commission has temporarily suspended the services of the local branch of crypto exchange Huobi and recommended revoking its operating license with the Ministry of Finance. With the suspension in place, Huobi has been given 3 months to return all assets to its clients. Now, this is a small exchange, but this will definitely have had a price impact on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies that they hold. Additionally, the SEC has asked Huobi to provide a security deposit for customers if it fails to return all assets within the stipulated time. Huobi is yet to respond to Cointelegraph's request for a comment. I will stay updated on that. Now, very interesting those are the two negative things, right? The price dropped exactly on the same day that El Salvador officially made Bitcoin a currency, and the Huobi exchange. So gotta share the good with the bad, or the bad with the good. But El Salvador's world first adoption of Bitcoin endures bumpy first day. So just some more on that. El Salvador's historic adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender on Tuesday was beset by teething problems as an angry protest by mistrustful citizens, technology glitches, and a dip in the cryptocurrency clouded the rollout. So just, you get these news articles, but if you really look into the positive, look what kind of happens when Bitcoin becomes a currency. The World Bank, has been really, really pushy and warnful when it comes to El Salvador and Bitcoin being accepted as a currency. But look what could happen here is Bitcoin must be accepted by World Bank according to charter. So World Bank may have to accept Bitcoin as payment from El Salvador because of the 1944 Articles of Agreement. Outlines the procedure and principles in which the World Bank pledges to engage with sovereign governments. A central theme in the document is its commitment to accept payments from member states in local currencies, and Bitcoin is their local currency. So here in Section 12, Article 5 defines acceptable forms of holdings of currency as follows. The bank shall accept from any member, in place of any part of the member's currency, paid into the bank under Article 2, Section 7, or to meet amortization payments on loans made with such currency and not needed by the bank in its operations, notes, or similar obligations issued by the government of the member or the depository designated by such member, which shall be non-negotiable, non-interest bearing, and payable at their par value on demand by credit to the account of the bank in the designated depository. Now, imagine if a few more countries get on board and then this spreads and more countries get on board, because that is happening. You see in these videos I show multiple news articles, usually every single time, about adoption and institutional investments. Ukraine, just before I started filming this video, Ukrainian parliament passes law legalizing cryptocurrency. So not to get too far into it, but Ukraine's parliament, the Verkhovna Rada, I doubt I'm saying that right, has adopted a virtual asset bill legalizing and regulating cryptocurrency. According to a local report, Ukraine has passed a law that makes cryptocurrency and other digital assets legal in the country. Now that doesn't mean it's a currency of their official currency or a official currency, but it is legal. So different than El Salvador adopting Bitcoin as a national currency. It's just legalized now. Bill number 3637 on virtual assets gives Ukraine the ability to now legally regulate digital currency, which is a good thing. Regulation is a good thing. Look at all the scams that have happened. It's just when you're rushed to do it and you don't know much about it, that could become problematic. So, okay, so that's what happened, right? El Salvador, first day with Bitcoin as a national currency, and the price drops 19%, something like that. Some altcoins over 30%. So, what really happened? So there's two things that really happened here. Number one, in my opinion, probably some insider information. It does happen, believe it or not. And who's it happen with? The people with the money. And when do they get caught? When they don't pay, when they don't pay up, or when they don't go along with the flow. But anyways, all conspiracy theories aside, SEC threatens to sue Coinbase over crypto yield program it considers a security. So essentially it's the yield program, multiple proof of stake and staking, and you're earning. This is what I love about crypto, is that price goes down, there's some things I'm earning 72% or more on still. That is protection for me. It dilutes the supply a little bit, but that's the risk you gotta kind of evaluate for yourself. And from Brian Armstrong, which I'm going to show you in a second, they refuse to tell us why they think it's a security, and instead subpoena a bunch of records from us. So the price dropped, and it wasn't from long-term holders. It was from big wallets. But he came out, what was that, 18 hours ago. Some really sketchy behavior coming out of the SEC recently. Story time. I think it's like 16 tweets it's made up of or something like that. Feel free to read through it. Brian Armstrong, at Brian_Armstrong. While you're at it, go ahead and give me a follow if you feel like it, at Matt_the_trader. I would really appreciate it. But anyways, read through that. I think it's kind of coincidental that the price tanks, and the next day Brian Armstrong comes out and says that the SEC is going to sue them or something to that nature. But just think it's kind of coincidental. The other reason for the price drop is, look at it this way. I've been saying this for a while now, maybe not every single video, but once big institutions get their hands on something, they control it. A lot of people made killer money the first quarter of this month on leverage trading, myself being one of those. I wasn't one who was going 10x on things, but I was going 2 or 3 times margin. And once we entered a bear market, I did take a big loss, and I stopped trading margin until I became bullish again, because you don't want to trade margin going long in a bear market. You also don't want to short in a bull market. But anyways, we're in a bull market. So what happens? The greed gets high, people get confident, everything's going up. Let's press it a little harder. What happens? $2.3 billion in liquidations today, $2.3 billion. So what happens, right, is somebody trades leverage. Let's say they're at 10 times leverage. They have $1,000 in there, and their $10,000 investment now goes up 10%. They now have $2,000. They made 100%, but that goes down, right? What would that be, like 20%, possibly slightly more, like 21%? They now have zero, right? So people are confident. Sometimes they add to that position, which is a terrible idea, to add to a leverage long position on the way up. If anything, you want to be selling your leverage long position on a way up. But I'm not going to get into margin trading just because I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's a good strategy anymore because, lo and behold, it's manipulated, right? The people with the money control the market, and now there's a lot of big money in the cryptocurrency market. So what do I compare this to? Is I compare this to penny stocks, and it's really, I don't compare it to it. I have said in the past that crypto is like penny stocks on steroids, but I just want to compare it to how penny stocks works. Penny stocks, no matter if the company is legit or not, which the odds are that it's not, the share structure makes it easily manipulated because it takes very little money to do it, especially with a lower and lower amount of outstanding shares in the float. So penny stocks are run off of promotions. Promoters get paid, and they bring volume to the penny stock, and the price goes up. Now, if a stock is to go up, you can't have selling pressure. So when you have all these leverage longs in profit, the only possibility when it goes up is for them to sell into the momentum. And if they're leveraged 10 times, they're going to be able to sell 10 times the amount of money that they actually have and kill the momentum. And that is why that this is actually a positive, because 2.3 billion, I'm sorry for those who did lose, I'm not insensitive to that nature, but if we want the price to go up and big money wants the price to go up, you need people out of it and buying the way up. That's why it's just a hold right now for me. It's like, don't be the one to be selling the bottom. I am bullish. I am a buyer here, and I'm a buyer down to $40,000. I'm not buying Bitcoin, but I'm using Bitcoin to make my buying decisions for when I see alts in a buying position. Anyways, not going to get into that too much, but Bitcoin does control the market, and there you have it. So, you have stop loss orders, and then you have liquidations in which the exchange will sell your position because you're not going to have the money to be able to pay back the loan that you took to trade these cryptocurrencies. So they auto sell your positions on the bid, and when that happens in sequence with a lot of money, a lot of times over, it drops the price significantly. So that's what happened. A little bit of manipulation, maybe a little bit of insider information of people knowing. Usually the money knows what's coming before everybody else. Maybe not. I'm just saying that's it's a guess, it's an opinion on what. I don't have any factual information. I just think it's a coincidence that the next day Brian Armstrong comes out and says that. Anyways, the liquidations are the main point, and they need to be shaken out if the price is to go up. So my recommendation, if you are trading on margin, if you're in profit, take profit. Okay, let's get into the charts. All right, I have 4 altcoins that I do want to talk about. Yes, I'm going to talk about Solana. Don't worry. First off, altcoins took a little drop. Not out of the water yet. Still above the 50-day moving average. Above the 50-day moving average I like. Bitcoin dominance still dropping. So altcoins I still like. What's been running? The level 1, meaning the higher market cap altcoins that have, some of them have been around for a while, some of them have not. It's been a handful that have been making very, very impressive runs, and a lot of them making little small gains, and then like some of them just kind of standing still. So one of the biggest ones, Solana, Algorand, took a big run, and then a couple really need to watch, keep your eye on. Bitcoin shorts have not increased on Bitfinex. Bitfinex has been right a lot of the times. It's usually one wallet that is doing the shorting on Bitfinex. I don't know who that is, but no large short positions taken out there, so no need to worry for me about Bitfinex being right on their short position. To get into Bitcoin, just want to show you a couple things. We did hit the 42,700, 42,500-ish support area, which has played out for quite some time. You see back here where we kept hitting support and holding, and the 50-day moving average also ties in with that. We are still red on the day. I could see maybe another inside day while this consolidates before we see a move. Be patient here. I'm also a buyer at 40,000 area. But what we saw here is, here's liquidations, held that about 42,500 area. The low was actually 42,830, but historical support back here, where we had that support and resistance come from. So really good that we saw that bounce back up to 46,000. Are we out of the woods? No. But then we took another bounce and put in a higher low. Love to see us finish green, but really what I want to see is a finish and a close over today's high of 47,381. Then I'll get some confidence back. Yeah, I'm just holding. I did take some risk off on Solana and Phantom. Now, why did I do that? Everyone, why did you do that? Solana is going to be a top 3 coin. Can it be? Sure, it can be. But all I'm saying, I was in at $34, okay? So I sold half of my position at $125. And usually in these, something I like to do, I'm not saying you have to do this, is I like to sell half at 100% gain, because then my initial investment is out and I'm riding all profit. I can't lose. If it went to 0, I'd break even. I was at 250%. Now, given I wasn't a small trade from 34 to 43, I'm talking about my core position. And then I said, well, I'm going to hold that forever. Well, all I'm saying is it's looking extended. And what do I mean by that is it's extended from the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average. Typically, could this keep going up and go to $300, $400? Yes, it can. But the further away that it gets from the 50-day and 200 moving average, the more likely it is to come back down. And that could be done in a couple different ways. It can crash down. It can move sideways until the 50-day and the 200 catch up. It can go to 300 and then crash back down to 180, and that'll expedite the upward movement of the 50 and the 200-day moving average. However, I took 5% more off the table because I like to take profits on the way up. I'm happy with the amount of money that I have in there that has grown significantly since $34. I'm not willing to lose all of that. Did people get in before that? Yeah, there are people who got in at $3, way back, even beginning of the year. I did not. I got in at 34. I'm very happy with the amount I have. still hold a significant amount of Solana, and I probably just will hold it until I see something that would turn everything, including Solana, bearish. Also, Algorand, looking pretty solid still, not as extended, not really extended above the, oh, that's a 4 hour anyways. There we go. So the 50-day is actually still under the 200-day, and it's looking to make a golden cross. So I don't know the news on this, but this is a hot one. Like I said, if you look at the gains and losses today, and they've had some time to turn things green in the last over the last 24 hours from 24 hours ago. But look at all the red, and then look at all the green on my watch list. There's only, probably 10 that are above 10% gain in the last 24 hours, and probably 7 or 8 of those are still down over the last 2 days. So just pointing out that there are a couple that are running, and looking really strong, but it's not the majority of the market. So Solana, yeah, I took about 5% more off the table just to take some risk off. When I saw it bounce up to like 185, anyways, moving on. Another one, you already know that I like this. I just wanted to bring up the chart, YFDI, and some of the things that they have on tap. First of all, it was listed on KuCoin on June 18th, so you didn't get to see way back here. But you can see on CoinGecko that it is the highest volume since mid or end of June. You can see that just by going to CoinGecko, and you can see the peak of this volume right here. And the last time we saw that was in mid-June. So that's a good sign, number one. Number two, highest volume that we've seen. Highest volume that we've seen on KuCoin ever. So I think that this right here, when we saw the increase in volume but not a rise in price, right here, these, you started to see it here, that's accumulation is what I get out of that. Maybe not a ton, but it's enough. I mean, that's how many, 473 times about 760, 280, 350,000-ish dollars. That's a lot of money. Am I doing that right? Regardless, it's a lot. 400 times 1,000 would be 400,000. So yeah, doing the math right. So about $350,000 worth a few times. That's pretty significant. And we did see a rise, and then when Bitcoin dropped, it also dropped. So I think this volume right here is that these people right here that bought here sold right here. I think they're going to regret it, just because this is kind of it looks like a bottom. And I always like to go back to TVK, and what that would look like, and the rockiness and the shakiness of it when the volume started picking up. But if you look at this, like look at the volume increase, sell off, volume increase, sell off, volume increase, sell off, and it's in an uptrend, dumped with Bitcoin. But this was again just something that kind of made me look at the overall altcoin market, back in July and say, hey, some things are looking up. Anyways, that's what I'm looking at with YFDI with their roadmap. They have a few things on tap for the month. Number one, Safe Swap expansion. They're adding about 40 different coins to their decentralized exchange. They do an extreme vetting process to make sure there's no rug pulls, so you don't get caught in something that goes down 99% in a day because it's a crappy project and the developer decides, I'm going to just sell everything and cash out and be rich, and there's nothing you can do about it. Lending and borrowing. That's a big one. There's going to be more money flow in and out. And their governance token, SafeSwap governance token, is going to be able to be farmed. So that's a big deal as well. Coming in November, you have their mobile application and you have their debit card. So a lot rolling out on the fundamental side. Now, roadmap means nothing unless they execute. Remember that. So I am big on YFDI. Why? Because I think it's one of the biggest opportunities. We've seen some things go up significantly, and I don't like to buy at the top. Forgive me for being cautious. But I like to buy when I see things bottoming out and when I think they have a chance to start moving back up. The chance that I see is that they have things on tap. They have had a lot of excitement behind them in the past, and they have new things rolling out, and I've seen more volume rolling in to this coin. very low market cap, excuse me. Very low market cap, 3.6 million. I think at its highest it was in like the 40 millions. The other thing that I like about YFDAI is its staking. So you can stake YFDAI for 72% APR. You get other rewards for that. Early project pre-sale access. You get Launchpad token farming gets you also access. Safe swap profit share of 5%. So every time it's a profit sharing, so 5% is split up between the stakers. Lending, borrowing, profit share 25%, profit share, safe swap, advertising. So a lot of bonuses to owning it and staking the coin. Now the one disappointing thing is their Launchpad has only launched the 5 projects. 4 projects, and the last one was April. So they got to get on this. If they really want to push this, they got to get more. And how have they performed? Very, very poorly. DFIT did go up to like $1.27 after a pre-sale of 5 cents. And just now they're all vesting, which means it's 6 months vesting. Slowly you're able to claim more and more. Sometimes it's 60%, sometimes it's 80%, so sometimes you only have 20% of the pre-sale available. So of course when it went to 127, I actually sold in the 70-cent area. I'm still very happy with that, but anyways, they need to get on that. Is this the last one before some news on Solana and FTT? One that you should definitely have on your radar is FTX. Their token is FTT. Just been on a tear lately, $47 to a high of over 80. This is one of the bigger ones. The reason I like this, they keep listing more and more tokens. Sam Bankman-Fried, the Bankman-Fried, the CEO, owner, founder of FTX, just buying, advertising, signing people like Kevin O'Leary to be the spokesperson, and Steph Curry getting involved with FTX platform. So he's really, really pushing. I think that this is the next Binance. They're just moving fast. I think that they're the next Binance, and they are the only exchange that didn't go down in the sell-off. I think it's really funny that KuCoin, Binance, Coinbase, all these exchanges all went down when the price of Bitcoin tanked. I mean, 5-6 years ago, I might have said like, yeah, it's because the network is overloaded, but nowadays, no, I think like you gotta be willing to accept. I'm not saying that I have any factual evidence or proof or whatever. Gotta be willing to accept that there's some manipulation that goes on, because like if I wanted to buy the dip, I couldn't have even bought it. I had to wait till things came back online, and I got it higher. And I know some people had orders in place just in case they can hit, which is really smart. But other thing, I mean, look at all the news. Solana price near 200 after FTX's Solana-enabled NFT marketplace goes live. Nifty news. Dolce & Gabbana's historic NFTs. 26-minute CryptoPunks flip. FTX spammed. Crypto exchange FTX launches NFT marketplace for US-based customers. Expanding ecosystem and LedgerX acquisition. This is the one that allows derivatives to come to the U.S. and send FTX token to a new all-time high. Just news after news after news after news. They are really, really, really pushing. And yeah, I think all that being said, that's where I'm at with alts. That's where I'm at with Bitcoin. Just wanted to share one more thing that I always look at is the rates on KuCoin for borrowing are down to 0.02% daily. They were as high as 0.08, 0.09, as high as I've seen them. They might have gone a little bit higher than that, but here we are back to it. And I think you're going to see a lot of that. When they get up, watch those interest rates. You can go to KuCoin, you can go to BitMEX, you can go to FEMAX, you can go to Bybit, wherever you can find the borrowing rate. When it starts to get high, I just have a feeling like they're just not going to allow people to make long-term dollars holding margin like they did in the first quarter of the year, because if there's selling pressure, the price can't go up. And I think that, it needs to be situated where the big money can get the margin to buy the price up, not sell it back down. So that's where I'm at. So, big news, a lot of things happening. This was mostly news based, and I wanted to go over a few of the altcoins to keep your eye on. Bitcoin holding support. We'll watch the levels. We'll watch how the daily candle finishes, and then we'll watch how tomorrow's candle finishes. No reason to go ape into anything right now and throw all your money at it, because if we do drop, I'm willing to sell any ads that I made to my positions. But I've basically just been holding. I added Polkadot, I added Kusama, and I did, I talked about in Stock Market Mentor moving my stop loss up because I was asleep when it passed my initial first profit taking point on Filecoin at $97. When it came back down to my stop loss at 105, I did fill that, and I actually was able to buy back in the 80s, so accumulate more coins. That was, that's the name of the game. So from a long-term standpoint, that worked out really well. Just for me, taking profits on the way up has always worked out. I've had times where I've sold everything and then it's doubled in price and I've regretted it, so I like to take smaller profits, scale in, scale out. Taxes are also part of that strategy. Obviously not in the short-term strategy, it's not beneficial to be buying and selling, but I hold my core and I trade around it, and I plan on holding because I am still extremely bullish on cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, I think that we continue to go up at some point higher than we're at now. So hopefully you got something from this video. Hopefully it gave you some insight into some things that may or may not be going on. Hopefully you'll look into some of those coins and make your own decision. Again, do your own due diligence on the few that I've mentioned. YFDI was a disaster, from 7,200, just like every other altcoin. These things came down like 90%. So extremely risky. Again, that falls into the micro cap category, where I always suggest 5% of your portfolio spread across all your micro caps, maybe 10% tops if you have a higher risk tolerance. Anyways, I'm going to leave you at that. If you did enjoy this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join us in Stock Market Mentor. I try probably every day or two update on positions and where they're at, what they're looking like. The good and the bad thing about cryptocurrency is everything generally moves up at the same time, everything generally moves down at the same time. So Bitcoin goes up, everything gets a chance to go up. Bitcoin goes down, everything goes down with it at a higher percentage. So it's just kind of finding the ones that you like and holding, and what looks good on the chart. What looks, I like to find bottoming. This was something that I wasn't patient enough with Filecoin back in the day, where I could have been in the 20s, if I had just been patient when it made its run over 200, but instead I was in the, I think, high 30s or low 40s or something like that, just because you got to be patient. And the one thing you don't want to do is just be jumping in from coin to coin to coin to coin. You're going to end up buying tops and selling bottoms, and you're going to lose money in a bull run. Don't want to do that. Anyways, again, last time, if you want to, if you like this video, please, if you want to, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Greatly appreciate it. Have a goal of 1,000 subscribers. Getting kind of close to 300. I'm pretty happy with that. I give myself a pat on the back. Thank you guys for subscribing. All that tells me is that I am providing content that people care to hear. So hopefully people are making money. I'm sure they are. I know I've made some dollars off of other members in the Stock Market Mentor forum. So it's good that we're active, and that's all from me. Until next time, have a great day. Bye.